Hi. We're on. It's 7:30 on the dot.
Hey, you're on time.
I'm on time. We're actually also going live with our podcast right now.
You are listening to Jimmy Gonzalez.
Hey, William is watching. What's up, Will? Who's with you? So today's show is a little bit different. This is the odd week of meditation. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This is the odd week for meditation. So next week, if you guys don't know, I will be back in Milford again doing meditation. Thank God. I like doing it from home, I'll be honest with you. It's nice, I don't have to leave. I have more of a spiritual connection, obviously, here. But, like I always tell you people, if you remember, the energy for me of doing meditation with you guys is actually you guys. It's us as a whole. Yes.
Collective energy.
You should talk louder. Just make sure you talk louder. Yeah, it's a collective energy when we're together. So, again, thank you. Oh, it's Heather. Hi.
Hi, Heather.
Like I was just saying, next week's meditation, again at the Grove. You do have to buy tickets. I'm sorry, it's going to be weird for a while because of COVID. But it is what it is. At least we get back. Hi, Judy. So,
Hey, Judy.
So next week, 7:30 to 8:30 at the Grove. You have to buy tickets online, $10. It is first come, first serve. If you guys know me, you know I'm not the type of person to send anybody back. So try to get your tickets as soon as possible. It's not like it's going to sell out because a lot of people are still. You'd be surprised how many people still haven't left their home. God bless them. I would have killed myself. So today is actually not Mind's Eye Meditation. She says hi. Today is the Spiritual Inclusive. Spiritual Inclusive is a show that we've decided to do because every time we do a meditation or pretty much anything, and I happen to bring up a topic during meditation, I am bombarded with after well, what do you know about that? How'd you learn? What is that? And it's from years of following a path of spirituality, I'll be honest with you. Right over there, you can't see it, but there is an excessive library and downstairs. And honestly, I always tell people, if you're interested in anything, actually anything, Google it, YouTube it. I just figured out today that my truck is not blowing enough cold air. So I was like, let me check. And I Googled it, and I just literally said, hey, truck not blowing cold air, Dodge Ram. And immediately I got 15 videos of actually people fighting with each other because one of them was an actual a repairman for Dodge, actually saying you have to take the dashboard off, you have to do all this stuff, it's a lot of work, it's 8 hours, you're looking at about $900 to $1,000. Every other video actually just says, no. Going through the passenger side.
Oh my God, no one cares.
Yes, they do. If you look on it, do you guys care about this? Can I share this quick story? Let me know.
Talking about spirituality and not your truck.
Let me know. Let me know if this matters. If I could just share this quick story.
There's a minute delay.
Okay, good. Then we get to wait.
No.
So anyway, it says if you look under the passenger side, there is the fan is right there. So I literally just pulled over. I looked underneath. Three screws.
I know. No.
Take the 3 screws down. You look up. There is the flap. That's the flap that controls the amount of air coming into the truck. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this. Yeah, okay. See, I was like, it's that simple. So anyway, it saved me about $1,000. So probably tomorrow or the next couple of days, I'll be doing that. See what I mean? Go YouTube. Okay. So anyway, today's topic. If anybody misses it, it's going to be saved on a podcast, YouTube, jimmygonzalez.org. It's going to be everywhere. And all our shows are going to be like that starting now. So, because a lot of people will write to me in the future and say I missed it or I haven't been able to watch it. So, now you know. So, Married long. Actually, it's a good question. I was actually, Judy asked if I was married long.
We're not married.
No, we're not married, actually.
You won't marry me.
It feels like it. No, I was married twice. The first one was an interesting one. The second one was an odd one. And then I have her. So, but,
and I was the best.
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Oh.
We're talking about it. We probably will.
No, we won't.
It's just that, you have COVID, so...
Oh, that's always an excuse. Always an excuse. Now it's COVID.
Now it's COVID.
Stupid.
Anyway, so again, welcome to the Spiritual Inclusive. This is a show, basically a series of shows which helps you become spiritually self-empowered. If you actually look at the word spiritual inclusive, the way I spell it, I focus on the word spirit and in and you, because that's what all this stuff is about. It's all about self-empowerment. We're going to talk about so many different topics, a lot of things that you may have heard, like possibly Feng Shui. And then next week's show is about not next week, the week after is going to be about manifestation, and I'm going to be focusing on vision boards and sigils in one show. And again, hopefully at some point you're going to realize that the power is in you guys. It really is. It's just trying to figure out how to hone in on it and control it and have more confidence in yourself. I think that's what a lot of it is. I'm not here to bash the concept of religion, because I was a Catholic for most of my life. I was an altar boy for most of my life. Well, not most, but it seems like it. I loved the concept of even possibly one day becoming a priest. It was just very cool for me. But it's weird. It's like the closer I got to the Catholic religion, and the more questions I asked, the further I was pushed away. And my questions weren't answered. So now I consider myself an omnist, which is basically I believe in everything. There's truth in everything. The world of spirituality is really about going in. Yes, somebody just wrote like, what about Jesus? I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus. I believe in God, of course. I believe in Goddess. I believe in many different things. The bottom line is, to me, everything funnels down to love. Love and respect for each other, caring for each other. That's what matters to me. And through spirituality and different things we'll be doing on this show, we'll just be teaching stuff. And a lot of it, like I said, is self-empowerment. That's what it is. So today's show, Today's show is about Feng Shui. Now, why Feng Shui? Well, it's funny, when I decided I was going to do the show, I wanted to try, I wanted to be the first show to be very interesting. And an issue that I see people having is that whenever I talk to people, and it's always about like bettering themselves, believing in themselves, taking care of themselves, having faith in yourself, again, self-empowerment. The problem with that is, if you do all this, you go home. Now, obviously, I don't know what everybody's living situation is like, but surprisingly, like I just met somebody again that I haven't seen for a while, a few days ago, and her home situation is horrendous. I mean, like, it's tough. And it's like, I was with her outside of the home area, and I'm talking to her about positivity and believing in yourself, and certain things you could do to cleanse and to bless yourself, but it doesn't help when you go back to the same place, when you go back to the same negative place, or you're around.
I'm gonna kill a cat.
I have my cat. My cat's name is Zombie Cat, and she keeps knocking on the door. Anyway.
Because she keeps knocking down the thing.
Oh, okay. So, and the issue is, Feng Shui is a great way to find balance in your home. So while you're so focused on bettering yourself and bettering yourself spiritually and everything, it's a good way of lining up your home and the energy in your home. It's because it's a two-parter. It's not just cleansing yourself. Actually, it's a three-parter. It's yourself, it's your friends and your circle. You want to keep your circle positive, which in today's world we all know that's difficult, but it is very important that the people that you hang out with don't have to agree with you 100%, but we should all be on the same page. And I mean, not to be rude, but my mother always said, you hang out with crap, you become crap. And she was right.
That's what she said.
She said it in Spanish. She said it a different way, but yeah. So, you know, and I was young and I didn't understand, but now I do. It's like you really want to keep your friends positive.
Just your environment in general.
You know, and then, you know, with your environment. So after today, you know, hopefully by the end of this is short and sweet and very basic, but it gets to the point, and you will be able to understand. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. But I mean, realistically, you know, you could actually go through Google and just type in certain parts of your house and Feng Shui and what to do and what to add and what elements, and it's very easy. It's a lot easier than people understand. It can become complex, but it's really not. Well, like everything, it's as complex as you choose to be. So I started Feng Shui when I first actually started in spirituality because I love the concept. I was looking for a way to not just find balance and inner peace in myself, but in my home. At that time, my mother had just passed, and I had a lot going on in my mind. It wasn't expected, so I needed to find peace. And I would leave my home and go to places where I could meditate and find peace. But like everything, and many of you know, when you go home, it's almost like you're back to square one again. And if your house isn't very peaceful, or you're surrounded by just negative people, it just brings you right back down again. And then you find yourself always fighting. So that's when, and I remember, I wish I knew her name. Is it this one?
Lillian 2.
Lillian
2. T-O-O.
T-O-O. Lillian 2.
We have her CDs and her books.
Google her, research her, YouTube her, Lillian 2. Actually, just YouTube. Lillian 2 YouTube. And she breaks it down. She's the one, like, she's the master. There's many, of course, but she was the one who inspired me back then to follow that path. So I was looking for a way to make my home peaceful and sacred. And that's when I started meditating. And then at that point, like, I wanted to create a spiritual life, like a full spiritual life. And the best way was to find balance in my home. So to really understand Feng Shui, you have to understand, now this is going to be a little weird for a lot of people, so just listen. Everything vibrates. So you just have to remember that. You vibrate. The energy that you have in you vibrates. Right now, if you're sitting at a computer, your phone, your desk, the floor, your home, the plants, your pets, you know, even solid things are vibrating. They vibrate, they reflect energy, everything's always moving. So because of that, there's positive and negative energy. So when you vibrate positive and you have a great day, it will reflect on everything around you. Your friends, it will reflect on everybody around you. When you come in on, you know, in a shitty mood, you'll see that things just almost like become a downward spiral and start falling apart. And all of a sudden, you know, that's the moment that it's like bad news after bad news after bad news, and then you're like, what the hell? And it's something that, I mean, not to point fingers, but you created it. And the way
it stays in your home.
And it stays in your home. I just had a conversation, really. This isn't really going off topic, which you'll notice I like to do, but this isn't really.
He loves it.
Yeah. The concept is, a lot of people tend to think when they hear booms and bangs and bings in their home, that their homes are haunted. Surprisingly, and this you could actually look into the couple, the Warrens. A lot of the stuff that they talk about, even in his book, The Demonologist, a lot of it has to do with energy and not so much ghosts. Which that kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole concept of, like, well, what about ghosts? It's like not questioning ghosts. But when you go into your home every day and you yell at your partner, and you scream at your partner, or you yell at your dog, or you yell in a specific room constantly.
Or you chase your kid up the stairs, beating them.
I'll have to get into that. Surprisingly, you actually fill that void with negative energy. And surprisingly, even though you walk away, it doesn't dissipate. A lot of times, if it's strong enough, it stays there. And that's what Feng Shui comes to, is a better flow, keeping a better flow. So like I said, if you have positive energy, which is basically, let's just say, vibrating. If you're vibrating on a higher, more peaceful level, powerful level, things will go your way. You'll notice.
There's just a better flow.
Yeah, it's a better flow, but you'll notice like things will start lining up for you that you kind of wish they would, and you weren't sure, and then all of a sudden you figure out they do. Oh, I have these weird lines right on my face. I don't know why. So. And when you vibrate negatively, again, you bring everything down. And before you know, you feel yourself drowning. And you don't realize the power you have to change that in a moment's time. You do. You can. You just have to tell yourself, like, cut it, stop it. There's nothing I could do right now, and let me just smile, let me go get an ice cream cone, let me pet my dog, let me sit on the couch and watch something silly on TV, and all of a sudden you realize that things just rotated and changed. So you have that power, and that's again what Feng Shui does. Low vibration is linked to fear, anxiety, sadness, and depression. High vibration is linked to positivity, love, compassion, and peacefulness. Remember that.
And gratitude.
And gratitude. So the higher your vibration, the more capable you are of manifesting the things you want in this world. It's that simple. You want things, you can get them, but you have to be vibrating higher. So let's begin right now. I don't know where you guys are, which realistically doesn't matter. You could be at work, you could be in your office, or you could be at home. And right now, as for which room, it doesn't matter, wherever you're sitting. So like, for example, Joyce is sitting on the couch in her living room. So wherever you're sitting, and you're up here with me,
I am.
wherever you're sitting, I want you to look around your room. And please, this is not like, I'm not pointing fingers, this is just being realistic. Is there clutter? Let's start off with the basic. Before we get into like the bagua and the tools and what you do, let's strip it down to the simple things. In the room you're in, or in the home you're in, is there clutter? And if it is, don't be embarrassed by it, because life happens. Shit happens. We get those tables that we throw stuff on. It becomes a catch-all. We all have those drawers that are filled with crap. We all have the closets that are filled with crap. For many of us, we think cleaning is taking stuff off from here and just shoving it in there, which I could see where it is. But sometimes it becomes too cluttered. Another thing with clutter is, are there broken items? I know that sounds weird, but the thing is, it brings negativity and energy around you when you're surrounded by broken furniture, a broken door, a broken window.
Clocks with no batteries.
A huge thing, which I'll talk about in a second. Clocks with no batteries. I know it sounds funny, but you're stopping time. And what I want for you, if you follow this path of Feng Shui and trying to align your home, is I want you all to have better health. I want you to find abundance. I want you to find peace. There's no reason why all of you should not be searching for that and receiving it. It's not that far-fetched. It's just that it's something that you have to follow through with. You have to be aware of it. So starting with clutter. Just start going, again, if you just have too much crap, pick a room.
Goodwill is still accepting stuff, we found out, even COVID is happening.
Yeah, actually, right before COVID, we went through our house and got rid of so much stuff. I mean,
For a lot to Goodwill.
So yes, they are taking stuff, even though there's COVID. Plus, Restore. Restore is there. They take furniture. Well, yeah, if you're in Connecticut. But there's a lot of places that will take your stuff. So that's always a great way to go through. White Sage is awesome. So that's a start. So clutter, get rid of clutter. Broken items, stopped clocks. Piles of bills. Dead plants. That's a good one. But first, piles of bills. Think of the logic. Like, hopefully as I'm talking, Feng Shui will start to unravel itself to you. Dead plants in your home. That's just, it's negative. Your subconscious mind,
It's a dead living
even
thing.
though you don't see it, because we all get used to it, because again, life happens. But you start walking through your house, you don't realize there's a dead thing in your house. There's I mean, hopefully none of you have this. You have a fish bowl with just a dead fish floating there. It's
Really?
just. I was an animal control officer. I used to see that stuff.
That's true.
So it's just negative, dead life, dead plant. No, your time is. Oh, okay, good. So these are things that, realize, again, we're going into a different level. This isn't just about like moving some furniture around. This is really about your subconscious mind. This is connecting your conscious and your conscious and your subconscious mind and making them talk and understand each other. And the way you do that is by enlightening your home, finding a better path, better energy. And before we get into like the different rooms and the different areas, realistically, you start with the basics. And the basics is always clutter. And like I said, clutter, clocks, dead clocks,
bills.
plants, the bills. We all have bills. I get it. Hi, Marge. We all have bills, but you have to understand. Some of us maybe can't pay them all right now. Or for whatever reason, your bills accumulate. I know that for a lot of people, out of sight, out of mind is not a good thing, but think of it more of like having them organized in a location is better than having them all pile up in an area that you can't pay them, but every time you walk by your bills, it's like a kick in the ass. It's like, damn, I know I have to pay these bills. I know I have to pay these bills. It's just going to make you miserable. So, if you can resolve it now, God bless you. Like, pay them all. But if you can't,
Throw them away.
I do. I throw them away. They'll be back next month.
Yeah, that's not good.
But no, if you can't, like, organize them. Get a little cubby and put them in a place. What do you guys like? Cubby? Is that...
A cubby is a thing.
A cubby's a thing. And just separate them. Your UI, your water bill, whatever. And, when you get to it, you get to it. And again, organization, of course, is part of Feng Shui. But, having that box that every time you walk by, you look at it and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, there it is again. Again, you're bringing negativity into your home. Think about it. Listen to what I'm saying as everything's starting to accumulate. So things also that hold negative memories. So let's say, for example, and I hope none of you do this, and I'm not targeting anybody, but I'm going to use this because I was divorced. So let's say, for example, I'm divorced, and I still have my wedding picture up, and our divorce wasn't great, let's just say, for example, and she left me, and she hated me, and I have our wedding photo up.
I doubt you still have their wedding photo up.
No.
Maybe
you'd be surprised.
Like a lamp. Like, oh, we bought that lamp together.
And it's like, if it's an object that still brings back negative memories.
Bring it to Goodwill.
No, Melissa's thing is throw it out.
I get rid of everything.
Yeah,
There's no reason to have it.
It's let it go. So again, look around your house. And it's funny, again, remember, this is subconscious mind. So there are things in your subconscious mind that you no longer really look at, but it's there. And it's a reminder of a bad time, a bad memory, a fight, a situation that you were part of that you didn't want to be. Those are the things you get rid of. So cleansing your home, getting rid of photos, that's the best path to positivity. So, hi.
Hi.
Chris. So,
Hi, Chris.
So you want to be positive. So Chris just joined. Again, a quick reminder, you want to get rid of dead things around the house. She's like, what?
Wow.
Plants. Negative memories, get rid of them. Clutter, get rid of it. Just everything starts making sense. You'll see. Because again, it's the vibration that you hold. And when you walk through your house, your subconscious mind starts to read things around the house. And it will pick up on negative things and it will bring you down constantly. Bills you can't pay. Get rid of the envelopes. Put them somewhere. Put them somewhere organized. But don't leave them out on the table thinking that I'm going to pay them. If you know you're not going to pay them for the next month, put them away. Just put them away. Get your little, electricity box or utility box, whatever. And you go to it there. What?
You're just funny. Go ahead.
Anyway. So, to talk about Qi, to talk about Feng Shui. Feng Shui, basically, think of it as Feng Shui actually translates to wind and water. So you could pick which one. You pick whichever you want, whichever resonates better with you. So picture it as wind or water. And imagine your home. Imagine the front of your home. And there is a positive energy of wind and water wanting to come into your home and bring you abundance, bring you happiness, bring you compassion, bring you everything you want. But starting at your front door, if it's not welcoming, if there's clutter in the house, if there's not a good flow through your home, through your apartment, blockages everywhere.
Stop it.
I know this sounds funny, but it stops it. And the way, before you question if this is real, I challenge you, do it, because I've shared this with people for many years, because I've been doing this for many years, and I've never had anybody come to me and say, "Oh, it's crap." At some point, they start to feel things, and they're like, "Wow, you're right. My house does feel better. It almost feels as if I painted a room, and I didn't. It's just that there's better flow in my room. There's my bedroom is more welcoming. The artwork is more welcoming. The colors are more welcoming. The lighting is more welcoming." These are things that many of us are very, very busy. Hello, Connie, and we tend to just not pay attention to these things. So with Feng Shui, you start to be able to organize the layout of how this energy, this positive energy, would come in through your front door. The reason I continue to mention the front door is because realistically, that is where the main point of entry is. Even though, we'll get into this, even though if it's like a side door or not, it doesn't matter. Even if you come in through the garage or a back door, you always base it on your front door, your front door's energy. So, like I said, imagine that energy sitting outside of your front door wanting to flow in. Now, to start off, what do? How do you start this? Well, we all start off with a compass. If you decide to Google this after I'm done, you're going to get 5,000 people telling you should get your compass only at Home Depot. It should only be this type or that type or this brand. Some people will tell you use a cell phone app. Some people will tell you that certain apps don't work or whatever. Realistically, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. Before you start getting into like worrying about that again, that negative energy, let's just keep it simple. I've used the compass and I've used my phone. Depending on where I'm, if I'm at somebody's house doing a house blessing and I want to see if their chi is correct.
What else works too that I've done?
Talk louder.
You go to Google Maps and you see where your house is on a map.
Right.
And you see what faces north and what faces. I mean, if you have like a house that's like obscure and like, they're normally built in a certain way. Right. Not like
so again, she had said if you didn't hear her, Google Maps, which is true. I've actually used that. I use that quite often for if I'm going to do somebody's house blessing, I will actually Google Map it first just to see where bodies of water are, if there's anything negative, electrical power lines or anything in the area, just to get an idea of how the house is situated. It sounds ridiculous. I think you're worth it. 100%. I think you're worth wanting to know these things because we all want abundance. We all want better health and happiness. And you'd be surprised how sometimes our house becomes as you said, a catch-all. And
well, just things can become stagnant.
Yes, and spots in your house, hallways, different parts of your home actually represent different elements, different colors. And if you don't follow that, even though it's, this is a Chinese thing, surprisingly, a lot of people do follow this. You should take fun with it. So it's important that you line your home up. And like I said, for those who are, question it, I can proudly say that I've done this for quite a few people. And, luckily, they've all come to me and be like, holy crap, like, I could see things changing already. Because remember, different rooms represent different things. So, like I said, Feng Shui really, for those that just are joining, Feng Shui focuses a lot on Qi, which is basically translated to like either the air and material energy, energy flow, or prana. And that's what you want to get through your home. You want to get that energy coming through your home and flowing positivity right through that front door and not getting blocked out or not getting lost. Hey, Lisa. So, for those joining in that missed something in the beginning, you're going to be able to watch this later. So it's getting recorded. So starting at that front door, once you get your compass, which phone app is great. You get your phone app, you stand in front of your front door with your back to the door. Realistically, whatever, it doesn't matter, but you stand at your back door because you want to see which way your home points. So does your home point north, northwest, south, east, west, whatever? That is important because you're going to miss my face just for a little bit. This is going to look crazy, but don't worry about it. I will explain a lot of it. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. So basically that is the Bagua. That is a tool that is represented, well, used in Feng Shui. So the whole concept is, picture you, if you can, right now, whether you're in a home, an apartment, whatever. If you have a second floor, don't worry about that for now. Let's just start with a first floor. So what you want to do in Feng Shui is find out which way your home is facing. And then wherever your home is facing, so let's say, for example, if your front door is facing east, then you put your front door, okay, I got this backwards. There you go. You put your front door right here. So basically this would be the entrance to your house. And then you're like, let's say, for example, I don't know, but your living room would be over here, your living room will be over here, and then you have like your bathroom over here. Remember, this is just first floor for now. And then basically your bathroom lines up somewhere here, your kitchen. So for example, my home, I'm thinking about it, my home faces west. So my front door is actually here. So my front door is here, my living room is here, my dining room is here, my bathroom is here, and my kitchen is in this area. Sorry about the blurriness. But my kitchen is right here. So again, you want to get your compass, figure out where your front door is facing, and then that will be where you put your Bagua color. So to make it easy, let's just say that your front door happens to be right here with career path. So okay, so you walk in through your career path. Hopefully I haven't lost anybody yet. And like I said, for anybody who has future questions, you could ask me. So the things you want to find out as you walk through your home is the little things to start off. So when you walk into your front door, I know this sounds odd, but is your street number clear? Because again, think of your energy. You want your home to be welcoming. So if the energy was a person and it was arriving to the front of your house and it looked at your front door, can it find your number? Is it clear? Is it on your porch? A lot of people, surprisingly, when I was animal control and I had emergency calls, you'd be surprised how many people would yell at me because I would drive by and I would tell them, well, there's no number. And nobody ever knew. They're like, oh my God, I thought the number was there. Or second, is it well lit? Is the number to your home well lit? Is it easy to walk in? I've been to homes where you can't even figure out where the front door is. Now, mind you, this is on a spiritual level, but it's the same thing. The energy has to flow to and into your home. And if it can't find your front door, how is it going to get in? Are your front steps falling apart and dangerous? Is the grass or bushes not allowing a clear path? Again, you want your home to feel clean and clear. And I mean, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. All I'm saying is the little things. You want your front entrance, which is very important when it comes to Feng Shui. The energy of Feng Shui rotates completely around the front entrance of that door. So you want to make sure that it's clean, clear, there's nothing obstructing it. Or, if you have a porch, do you have broken furniture on your porch? Is there, do you have cans that need to be recycled on your porch? There should be nothing on your porch. It should be welcoming, it should be bright, it should be clean, it should be well lit. And if you're not sure of it, because sometimes we don't see it, ask a friend. Ask a friend to actually go and judge your home and tell you, like, sometimes another set of eyes is great. Like, they'll see it and they're like, oh my God, I never really noticed little things. We all have that. Trust me. We all do that because we're busy with our lives. And then when you first walk into your home, is it welcoming? Or is your living room tiny and have big furniture? Is the furniture broken? Is the path, again, think of Feng Shui as wind or water flowing through your home. Is it obstructed by a wall? Is it obstructed by old boxes, things that you've been wanting to move away, bags of cans you've been wanting to get out of the way? This is obstructing Feng Shui. I'm sorry, the chi energy. So like, it's funny. Right now, just recently, we recently moved our couch a certain way, and
I love it.
She loves it, but realistically, it's in a weird situation. So we're gonna have to talk about that. But again, you should be able to walk through your home, touch each door and window in your home without any blockages. Think that for a moment. Like, analyze your home, your different rooms. That's the clarity, the flow that you'll... Oh, not a problem. That's the flow.
Good night, Lisa.
Good night. That's the flow you want for your home. You want to be able to walk around your home and not feel that it's an obstacle course. Because if it is, the flow will also, the chi will also not flow correctly. So that's basically, really the flow of your home, talking about why it's so important. So now, in front of you is the Bagua. It's basically 8 directions, not including the center. Okay. Not including the center elements. The topics and colors are associated with each direction. So, for example, as you can see, you have the north, which is at the bottom. And you have the north, which represents...
I never even noticed that. That's weird. Why would they put the north on the bottom?
Because that's the entrance to the door. It's like, so the north is water. The element is water. And then northwest is metal. West is metal. Southwest is earth. South, fire. This will all make sense in a second. Wood, earth, and earth. And then each section represents things. So, for example, the southwest area represents relationships, partnership, love, receptivity, and openness. The east represents family, the elders, community. It's represented by the color green. Its element is wood, and it's group support and strength. So these are the things you want to keep in mind as you start moving stuff around in your home. So again, let's just say you already took a compass, you lined it up with your front door. This is where the chi enters your home. Again, a lot of people will question it. I never walk in through my front door. I haven't walked in through there for years. It's covered with boxes. You can't even get in. That's horrendous for chi. I'll be very honest with you. That's not a good thing. You want to have flow to your front door.
Get rid of stuff.
Yeah, get rid of stuff. Move stuff around. Or do like us, donate. So you want to see which way your front door faces again. And that's where you lay your compass. Your Bagua. Depending on where your door is. So if it's northeast, you put your Bagua entrance, that color, the blue one, on your northeast. So the best thing to do is to create a rough draft of your home. You don't have to get an architect. You don't have to pay money for this or download an app. Just get a sheet of paper and just literally draw out your home, your bedroom, even an office. This is also great for offices.
And your desk.
Your desk. Yeah, actually, the layout of your desk can be the entire Bagua. Where things are laid out on your desk at work, or where your desk is located at work. Very important. So let's just say, for example, your door faces east. If it's wood, you are already halfway there. All you would have to do is add an element of green. So let's say, for example, your door faces east, and it is wood. Yes, Bagua. It's spelled a few different ways. A lot of people will spell it B-A-Q-U-A or B-A-G-W-A.
B-A-G-U-A too.
Yeah, B-A-G-U-A. Just type in Feng Shui, Bagua. The minute you type in bag, it comes right up. What I will tell you is that there are 2 types. You will see this one, which is the classic, and you will see a modern version, which is a square. You'll notice that they're very similar. The only problem is that this one is the original one, and to do this one you have to line up your home, which basically means that sometimes your front door might not be north, it might be south, it might be west. The other one is the western version, which again, if it works for you, it works for you. I don't care for it only because of the fact that north is always your front door. It doesn't matter if where your house is facing. That's the layout, and I just have a problem with that because
it's not the original.
It's not the original, and it doesn't. And things actually don't line up when you do both. You realize, at least I realized for me in my situation, things didn't line up the other way. So I'd rather keep it classic. But of course, I'm just telling you that so if you happen to type in Bagua and you see a square version with the 9 colors, and then you have this version, you know, the octagon-looking thing, you'll realize, okay, that's what Jimmy was talking about. This one,
the octagon-looking thing is based on the I Ching.
Yeah, this one is actually based on the I Ching, which is, as you can see, these little symbols, which we're not going to get into that now. But
it's a lot more difficult.
It's a lot more difficult. It's a lot more complicated, but that's the concept of this one. This one moves based on where your front door is facing. The other one is fixed and it's simplified. Again, if it works for you, God bless you. I think it's wonderful. You end up missing a lot. So, you know, to each his own. So again, so let's say your door faces east. Something as simple as your front door being made of wood. Perfect. See, you're already there. Now, east, as you can see here, right here, is green. Now, this does not mean that you have to paint the door green. If you so choose to, awesome. Your neighbors might not be happy with it. But a representation of something green in the front entrance is enough. Either you could even get vases, flower vases, and put vases on your front porch that they're green. A green wind chime always is great. Any type of green decoration or green artwork, anything. Just something, you want something in that section that follows that corner. So basically wood, green, and the concept is that this will help strengthen your family and your health in the east section. Crystals. There are crystals. You know, if you're into crystals, you could. There are green crystals. I'm trying to think of green crystal off the top of my head.
Emerald.
Emerald. Duh. So emerald, you know, you could place somewhere. Aventurine, emerald, malachite. You could line these up. You could hang them from different items in that section of that room. Again, it's to enhance. Now listen to what I'm saying, because everything goes to everything else, Jade. So this also goes with putting something pink in the pink area. Rose, quartz, different things like that, if you're into crystals. But again, photos, paintings, things that are meaningful to you. I'm gonna continue to focus on that. It has to be meaningful. It doesn't mean go to Home Goods, buy something that's green, and throw it up on the wall. Like, I prefer you pull something out of your attic that you haven't seen for 20 years that happens to be green, that means something to you. That's what you want to put up. So, like, this isn't like a do it quick thing. Like, you really want everything to matter. Like, for example, another thing, let's say if you have a little foyer when you walk into your home, a little round wood table where you can put your keys on. That's perfect. That's introducing wood into the entrance. Flowing water is always good in many of the different locations, except for one, which I'll talk to you about in a second. Because flowing water is abundance, it brings wealth.
As long as it flows towards you.
But the problem with flowing water is the water always has to flow in, towards you, not out. Because remember what I just said. It brings abundance. So if you have your water flowing outward, it's actually throwing the money out, the abundance away from your home. So hopefully things are starting to make sense, and there's logic there. You're starting to see what I'm talking about, how the things connect with Feng Shui. It's like, again, it sounds complicated, but it's not. And again, I'm always open for questions. I love talking about this stuff. So if you have a fountain, if you could buy a little fountain somewhere, you put it in the front over here. You put it in the front entrance and one of the tables. But again, it has to be flowing correctly inward. And I know this sounds like a pain in the ass, but there should always be water flowing. So if you take on the job or the responsibility of getting a fountain, please make sure it's always flowing.
Yeah,
because yes, Joyce, because when that fountain stops, so does the abundance. So again, remember, this is just, I'm going to continue to reiterate, I want you guys, each and every one of you, I want your homes filled with abundance, compassion, health, everything. And with Feng Shui, you can do it. Getting back to water. Now, the issue with water is, again, you kind of have to know these things. The bathroom is actually can be a very negative place when it comes to water. Let's say, for example, your bathroom falls in the southeast. So like right up here. Actually, mine falls over here. So anyway, southeast. So, which is wood again, and it brings prosperity and abundance, appreciation and gratitude. Again, wonderful.
I love the bat.
Let's say, for example, you have a wood door, which many of us have wood doors in our bathroom. Awesome. Putting plants is very auspicious. It brings, again, abundance. It brings life into your bathroom. But one of the things that's weird is that you want to keep your bathroom, your toilet, when you flush it, it should always be closed. Now, remember what I said about the fountain. Think of it logically. Fountain, water brings abundance. So every time you flush, what do you think happens?
You're flushing abundance away.
Thank you. You're flushing abundance away. So your toilet should be closed when you flush it. And realistically, the bathroom door should also be generally closed. Unless, of course, you have a perfect bathroom and there's plants and you know what it is too? A lot of this is your energy. Like, you know, I can't stop saying how this is all you. Meditation is you. Feng Shui is you. The tarot is you. You know, you create the energy behind all of this stuff. Like, you're a very powerful being. And if you believe in it, you can do it. So, for example, if some of the rules don't apply to you, or a room, but it happens to be a room that when you walk in, you feel phenomenal. You feel positive. Stick to it. You know, keep it going. There's nothing wrong with that. These are just general rules, but I know of people that have said it works differently for me. So, for example, bathroom again, toilet should be closed. What's wrong?
Just trying to read the globe.
Oh, so okay, so so you place it. Okay, so now we're going.
Water should never be in the bedroom.
Yeah, well, I was going to get that later.
Below the
but
bedroom.
I had mentioned about water. The problem with water, I think for now, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The issue with water again is abundance, and you're bringing abundance into your home and to you. But in a bedroom, it's actually not a very auspicious place because of the fact that it flows away, and it tends to bring marital problems.
Well, because it's dousing out the fire.
Yeah, it's dousing out the fire. So even, for example, let's say you're single and you're looking for someone in your life. Having water, a fountain, water elements in your bedroom douse the fire.
Because you have to also think of the purpose of the room.
Yes. So that's the other thing. Thinking of your bedroom as just your bedroom or your bathroom or your kitchen or whatever, this is going up to a different level. So you're thinking of the purpose of the room. So the purpose of the room of your bedroom, you know, if it's for sleeping, that's fine. If it's for romance or to bring romance into the relationship, and you have Niagara Falls in your bedroom, you're going to douse the fire. And this also goes for having second floor and having, let's say, for example, you're upstairs and you have a room below you that happens to have a fountain. Again, that's also negative. You can't have flowing water beneath you if you're in a bedroom. We'll get into that in a bit. So again, water should be in certain spots, different elements in different areas. So I do want to introduce, I want to talk about arrows, poison arrows. A lot of people are like, what? Yes, poison arrows. In this home where I live right now, there is a monstrous poison arrow, which I actually learned how to deflect it myself because of something that happened. We live on a T-junction. A T-junction in Feng Shui is considered very, very, very negative, because basically I live on this street, and literally right in front of us is a street. So it's referred to as poison arrows. So every time somebody pulls up, the lights, their energy.
Energy's going at you.
It's going at your home all day, just constantly. And I've researched some of it, and it usually it is correct. People in those situations have had loss, This home has actually had a lot of loss, a lot of death, a lot of negativity through the years because of this. And it's funny because when I first moved here, I just didn't feel comfortable right away with the home. And back then I kind of knew Feng Shui, but I didn't think of it constantly. And it wasn't until the first time I sat down to have breakfast, I think it was, and I sat down in our living room, and when you look right across the street, that T-junction that I'm speaking of is a dead end. So what you see when you look out of our dining room window is a beautiful, big, yellow, shiny sign that says dead end. And this is something that you are constantly looking at. So it's not positive. And
it's only not positive because you let it be not positive.
It's only not positive because you let it not be positive. And I didn't let it be positive. I always bitched about it. And I ended up having... she wrote so much to learn. So again, you could play this later. Or, come to meditation. We could talk about it. But here's a cool lesson. Here's a cool lesson that I learned, and I took it to heart. Just recently, I've been living here how many years? Like 40, 50 years?
About.
It feels like 50 years. But this past October, again, that sign, that damn sign, that dead ends. Oh, Jesus Christ! Like I've envisioned backing my truck into it and knocking it down. And there are times that you realize, again, it's you create this.
It's just a sign.
It's just a sign. So this October, a few days after October, a small orange,
cute little pumpkin.
Styrofoam pumpkin appeared across the street, about 2 feet from the pumpkin, from the sign's base on the floor. And I remember, again, waking up and opening my windows and looking out the front dining room window, and I see the sign and I see this little pumpkin. And I stare at the pumpkin and I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's a pumpkin. It's a little plastic pumpkin. I'm like, whatever. So a few hours later, I go to make some coffee. I look out the window, looking at the pumpkin. That evening, we're having dinner. I look at the sign. I'm looking at the pumpkin.
You made a very big deal about this pumpkin.
Yes, I did make a big deal about the pumpkin. For a few days, I would come out and go, wow, look, pumpkin's still there. I went to throw my garbage out. That's my old man thing. Pumpkin's still there. I went out to get mail, looking at the pumpkin. Throw the garbage out, looking at the pumpkin. Cutting the grass, looking at the pumpkin. Did you notice I didn't mention the sign? The sign literally disappeared from my view.
The pumpkin was a sign.
This pumpkin, very well said.
I like that.
So that's when I realized that. I was like, holy crap, you were being foolish. You were so focused on this dead end and this sign. This little magical pumpkin just showed me to not focus on it. And just like everything I'm talking about, self-empowerment, I took back control. And I was like, F you, sign.
Wow.
It's like, I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter to me. So that pumpkin changed my perspective. Totally changed my perspective, and I realized what was really important. And
hi, John.
Exactly. Quit while you're ahead. So basically, I never saw. And then a few days later, the pumpkin disappeared. It was down the street, crushed. Somebody hit it, but it taught me a lesson. And hopefully that'll teach you a lesson too. Not to focus on things that don't matter. You'd be surprised where you put your perspective is everything. So now I want to talk about the different elements. What?
Oh my God, you were talking about poison arrows and you started talking about a pumpkin.
Oh yeah, I'll go back to them, sorry. That's why I have her. The poison arrows is basically negative points that we all have in our homes. Negative corners, sharp objects that actually either deflect positive energy or actually hit us with negative energy. And there are many, again, if you have them in your home, just weird corners, weird angles that are, that point towards your bed, that point towards places that should be of abundance, of love, like a bedroom, and you have like a sharp angle just pointing directly at your bed. There's ways to deflect. Mirrors are amazing for that. They should always be round, never square. Because once again, square angles. You really want to stay away from square angles in Feng Shui. You want flow. Everything should be flow. When you're gardening, the line of your garden should move. It should flow. It's like you're bringing life to everything. Everything is constantly moving. So again, architects don't think about stuff like that when they build bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. But there are ways you can fix these dead spots or these poison arrows. She wrote, what? Okay. Poison arrows. How do I explain it again?
Well, they're just, she gets stuck in them.
Yes.
So
again, remember the water and the wind. The water and the wind is flowing through your home. And it's trying to go through your home and fill every nook and cranny in your home and bring positive energy into your home. But if there are dead angles, if there are points that will deflect this energy, it actually
will get stuck in it.
It'll get stuck in it. Right. That's why round shapes, balls, marbles, round mirrors, round artwork, crystals, chimes help bring that energy around. So that's what people refer to as poison arrows. Poison arrows, a great example.
So in front of our house, we put a round mirror.
Right, a bagua. So for example, as I said, a T-junction in our home. No, yes, you do. But I mean, don't go crazy. There's things you can do. Don't start don't go to Home Goods and go crazy and start like blowing hundreds of dollars on stuff. You could put crystals. I'll give you an example. So I had mentioned that we live on a T-junction, and so we have this literally right in front of us, right here. So we have this street facing us. In front of my home, you have the front door, the screen door. Okay, so you have that front entrance.
You put two round pots.
And then you have two windows, left and right. So you have my living room and my dining room. In the center of each window, and they're only about this big. They're very small. I have crystals, which you can get them inside a little metal cage.
It's like a spiral cage.
And literally all I did was just take a little bit of string and tie that up, and just with a thumbtack, I hung it right to the center of each window in front. Outside of the window, now mind you, you can go crazy and continue. I tend to go crazy and continue. So in the front of our home, we have a chime. In the front of our home, we have a bagua, which looks like the one that I just shared with people that might not have seen it. But the one that I have in front of the house, this whole thing is yellow, and there's a mirror here. And it's small. It's probably like the size of my palm. And if you look at the front of my home, you don't even see it, but it's right to the left of my front door. And that is to also help deflect negative energy. Mirrors. Mirrors are phenomenal for deflecting negative things. But again, they're also just as good at deflecting positive energy. So you don't want to have a large, beautiful mirror when you first walk into your home facing the front door. Because that will actually deflect that wind and water energy. You don't want to do that. So if you do have mirrors in the front entrance should be perpendicular to the door. So they want the energy wants to hit the mirror and continue through the home. Again, be the chi. Think of the chi flowing through your home, through the front entrance, through your front hallway, through the foyer, in through the dining room, through the living room, through the kitchen. Do it. You yourself can experiment with this. Be the chi. I like that. Be the chi.
Yeah.
Travel through your home. Do you find yourself getting caught in corners, getting stuck between pieces of furniture, or is it an easy flow? Now, mind you, not every home, apartments, are not going to be able to go from the bathroom back around again. You're going to have to turn around. But there's
mirror there.
But you could put mirrors in these spots to help bring that energy through again. Now, as for the elements, as I had mentioned again, for everybody who missed, again in the Bagua, you'll notice that there are different elements represented here. So these elements, what they do is they represent wood, water, metal, and those are basically things that you can put into different parts of your room. So if the Bagua is asking for a representation of wood, something as simple as a bamboo plant, or even outside of the home on that corner, you can have a tree, because it's still part of the house, and a strong tree brings positive energy into the corner of that front house. Or inside that, let's say, for example, our dining room, our living room. I could have a plant with strong roots. Again, represents wood. Or again, you can go into artwork that shows wood, colors of wood, or wood, pieces of wood. Again, this doesn't mean go to a tag sale and pick up somebody's old wood furniture that has no meaning and just put it in a room. I mean, unless you bless it, because everything that I would buy at a tag store or flea market, I sage it. But again, you want to keep it meaningful, things that mean something to you. There's more of a representation, there's strength, because again, remember, after a few days, you're going to forget about it. And your subconscious mind will not. So every time you cut through your living room or go through your dining room, even though you're focused on getting to the kitchen, your subconscious mind is picking up on everything in your house as it travels through it. So you're remembering the wood or the metal or the fountains, the flow of water. Everything is being represented in your mind, and you have to be up on it. And you want to make sure that, again, it's clean, it's dusty, don't go crazy, but you don't want to put stuff in a corner and forget about it, especially crystals, and just they're filled with dust. Like, again, now you're bringing that back down to just negative energy. I hope everything's starting to somewhat make sense. Now, for the trick to help you with let's say, for example, you're kind of stuck with like, well, I have a section that's wood, I have to bring wood, and I don't really have wood, and what should I do? Remember that elements support each other and also don't. So wood creates fire. Fire supports earth. Earth supports metal. Metal supports water. And water supports wood. So those are good things. So you can pull from each other as long as they support each other. But for example, if your room is represented by, let's say, fire, you're not going to put a wood thing. I know this sounds weird. It's like it's not gonna, or water.
Doused out.
Water, yeah. But you don't want to put things that clash together. Things that don't work with elements. That was cool. And lots of thunder here. Hi, Gail. So.
Hi, Gail.
But at the same time, remember that elements that support each other also don't. So wood weakens earth. Earth weakens water. Water puts out fire. Fire melts metal, and metal cuts wood. I'll say that again because you're like, what the hell is he talking about?
Where did you get that?
Think about it. Wood weakens earth. When you're putting wood into earth, it's weakening the earth. Earth weakens water. Water puts out fire. Fire melts metal. Metal cuts wood. So if you have a wood room, a room that's represented by the element, and you need wood, and there's a big metal sign in there, really that screws up with the chi of that room. So you want to remove that item, and you want to have continuous flow. So again, elements that don't work well together. So again, in the wood, you could put something water. You could put the fountain, again, flowing in. You can put specific colors. So if it's a room that's represented by gray, shades of gray. Again, does this mean that you have to paint the room gray? Absolutely not. But you can get a picture frame that's gray. If your mirror has a trimmer on it that's gray. Let's say, for example, if it's a bathroom and it falls in gray, the soap and paper towel dispenser, soap and dish
Toilet paper?
dispensers and toilet paper, that can be gray. That's enough. We're actually redoing our bathroom. We're doing gray grout within the tile. Little things like that, that's enough. Again, you don't have to go crazy with this. It's still about getting that abundance and flow through your home. So I talked about the bedroom. Okay, so bedrooms.
And we have tips and tricks.
Yes, we have tips and tricks. So again, for everybody who just tuned in, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? You can play this back again. This will be on my website. This will be on YouTube and on Spreaker. It'll be a podcast. So quick tips to help understand a little bit more, some quick stuff, instead of getting so much into the
Bagua.
Yeah, the bagua. Quick tips for a better flowing home. Starts with clutter. Get rid of clutter. Clutter is life. I get it. For me, I love to collect crap.
And I threw it away.
And she throws it away. I at least try to take it to restore or take it to different places. But, you know, you don't want to have clutter in your home. Before you know it, you have clutter, it builds up in sections, and there's no flow of chi. Close your toilet before you flush it and keep it closed. Again, water represents abundance of bringing abundance in, and the problem with toilet is you flush abundance away, so you want to keep that closed. Bathroom door should also be closed. Here's an interesting one which I came across, and a picture came into my mind which I think makes perfect sense. Think of it this way. So if you have, when we're talking about people who sit with their backs to a door, whenever you envision a movie that they're talking about a CEO or somebody in charge, a big boss, a mob boss, whatever, and you're going in to visit the office, think of the layout of the desk where it is. It's always laid out in front of you. He's always facing the door, dead center. That's actually proper chi. That's a good flow of chi, a good flow of power. If you're at work, there are a lot of people, especially, you know, it's a Chinese thing, that believe that if you work for someone and you have an office and your desk faces the door, your back faces the door, you're not considered a good employee. Like, they don't respect you. They don't take you seriously. They'll just place your desk anywhere. Your desk should always face the door. There are many things. A bedroom, your bed should always face the door. If you walk into your bedroom and you're facing the side of, if you're facing the side of the bed, or not really the headboard, that's not really going to happen, but you know, you should always be facing the door. That is it. Again, it brings in positive chi into that bedroom. Plants are great for dead spaces. Think of your kitchen. If, you know, above the cabinets, a lot of places we accumulate, we don't even think of, again, this is your subconscious mind, you don't even think of those dead spaces, but they're there. Those dead little cubbies, those little, you know, again, nooks and stuff that are missing spaces. All they'll end up doing is collect dust, or my favorite is you'll put knickknacks in there. And a lot of people tend to collect knickknacks and things that are meaningful, and these knickknacks are broken, and it's an elephant, and his trunk should always be facing up. But his trunk is broken, or facing down, or you have little clowns and one of the ears is missing. Again, that's negative. I know it sounds petty, but it's not. It's your subconscious mind picks up on this stuff. You want everything that you look at around your home to be pretty, welcoming, clean and simple. You know, again, not too much clutter. So with plants, a great thing you could always do is place a plant. It doesn't have to be a huge plant. And surprisingly, there are plants that don't need sun. I just learned this recently. There are plants that you can put in these sections. You're bringing life into your home, into different sections. And you please don't go crazy spending tons of money. You know, just like us in the animal world, all plants need a home too.
Oh.
You'd be surprised. There's little plants at Home Depot, at Walmart for $5, $6, actually $3, $4, $5. You get cute little pots. The pots can match the color of the room. So again, if it's a green room, for example, or pink room or whatever, your pots can match that, and that's it. There's your flow of chi. But the plant will represent life. Again, knickknacks, throw them out, unless they're truly meaningful. But piles of paper, piles of stacks on stuff, you're gonna have dead. It's just gonna have dead chi, and the chi is gonna stop and it's gonna get stuck everywhere. Natural light. I don't know how many of us may have windows. I have too. That the curtains are just kind of large. Not much sun comes in there. The window's always closed. It's always good to try to have as much natural light as you can. And whenever you can, based on weather, it's always good to open your windows. Let fresh air come in. Especially now that a lot of us are using our air conditioner more, it's fine. Clean your filters. A lot of people don't. Clean. That's the father in me. Clean your filters. In businesses, I've worked in business a lot. Clean your filters. You're breathing that in. A lot of people forget about it. But in a home, ACs are awesome. But when you can, open up windows. Let the air in. Even if I know it might be too hot, just do it for half an hour. Just let some fresh air in. That helps, again, bring in chi, bring in natural light. When you, like I said, open your windows. When you can, and again, this isn't a huge investment, wind chimes. Could be something, you don't have to go to a wind chime store. You could either buy them on Amazon, you could go to Walmart. Wind chimes, put them around the house. It's a positive sound. It doesn't, again, hit it first before you buy it. No, because I remember gifting someone a bamboo one, which bamboo chimes are beautiful, but it was a big one, and I got it like in Florida somewhere, and this thing was horrendous. When it played, it just sounded like skeletons. It was horrible, and I felt bad, but she loved it, so I was like, okay, that's cool. But it's something that has to be pleasing to your ear. Everything that I'm talking about should be pleasing to your eyes, to your ear, to your soul. You want to take control of your home again. So placing wind chimes also outside of windows, or like outside the porch, the back porch, also again attracts positive chi. Color schemes. Color schemes is also important, as represented on the Bagua. Going back to it again, Bagua. So again, it doesn't mean that you have to paint if you're in the Southwest. If your room happens to be here or in the West, it's like, oh, I have to paint white. No, you could have, for white, it could be a picture of white sand. It could be actually a vase with white sand in it. Shells. It could be filled with shells. So think of it that way. It doesn't like, oh my God, Jimmy, now I have to invest in Home Depot and get all this paint. No, you don't. But you want to keep that going. But also remember that, psychologists prove that color reflects people's thinking, how they react. So for example, the color red, it's a great color, but it's also a very, it could get people riled up. So, if you have a teenager and a teenager says, I want to paint my bedroom red, I tend to go against that. Me personally, my dream is to one day, years from now, to own a gym and actually paint everything red. Because when I work out, again, based on my style of working out, I like to be aggressive. So red helps. Rock music helps. The gym I go to, which is funny, it's purple and yellow. I'm not going to give names.
Obviously.
But surprisingly, purple and yellow do reflect well with red. They're also a part, they're similar. Yeah, it's this weird thing I was reading about. So it's okay, but it's not as strong. So as you can see, when you do put stuff in rooms, or if you do decide to paint rooms different colors, think of it that way. For like a bedroom, soft colors, relaxing colors. You don't want to paint your room red. You're going to be fighting, or you're going to have really violent, angry sex, which is not always a bad thing. So keep those things in mind. Color. Where you place color in your home, not just the elements. Color is just as important. Here are some bedroom tips to keep going back and forth with the bedroom. Realistically, many of us do have it. I do have it. I am guilty of it. My shirt is red. There you go. But I'm a very calm person. So, really, in Feng Shui, in the world of Feng Shui, you shouldn't have a television in your bedroom. But we have one in our bedroom. It's actually a smaller, flat one, and it's on a little swivel thing up on the wall to the side of the bed. It's not the main focus in our bedroom. It's to the side, and when we're done watching TV, we slide it to the back. So we're not emphasizing on that TV or a computer or exercise equipment. These are things that you don't want them in the bedroom. It just breaks up the chi in the bedroom. Again, open windows or even air purifier to help achieve balance in the bedroom. And your bedroom doors, in terms of Feng Shui, really should be closed. As to why, it's a belief that when you sleep, you're allowing positive chi to flow out. And it opens up your space to negative energy, which is the last thing you want to have when you're sleeping. You want to have complete peace. So shutting the door promotes a sense of security, safety.
Well, what if you have a cat that constantly wants to come in and then go out?
We have a cat.
Come in and then go out, and then come in. You don't sleep.
Yes, we have a cat called Zombie Cat who, knocks and you close, and I think she waits until she knows you're just about getting into like REM, and then she starts scratching again. You hear, and her meow is, it's just meow, meow. So one of us fight, and then one of us goes, and you open the door, she comes in, and then like 20 minutes later she wants to get out. But realistically, overall, let's ignore the cat story. You want to keep your door closed. It's, again, you do what you want. It's what works for you. This is just an outlay of Feng Shui, of how you could bring positive energy through your home, positive flow, positive chi. But again, if you have a room and you have things that you see that don't really follow the, she said car door, Melissa. Follow the rules. It's okay. You're not. Did you have a phone?
No, it died.
Oh, car door. So again, and also what's important is, cat door.
Yeah, but we have small dogs.
We all have dogs, so they'll be running out constantly.
And their
running
dogs are smaller than the cats.
Yeah, our dogs are much smaller than our cats.
Our cats are fat.
So again, when it comes to your bedroom, and this is a weird one because again, we tend to do things, we don't realize it, but remember, your subconscious mind is always following through. So negative images, negative art, things that when you look at are just not pleasing to the eye. Ask yourself, do you really want these? Now, there are people that like that stuff and it works for them. If it works for you, that's awesome. Hey, Joe. But again, you want your flow, what you see, what you feel, the energy of your home to be positive. And if your artwork is Hellraiser, Pinhead, and it's hanging,
as long as it's in the metal section of the room.
Yeah, yes, if it's in the metal section, works. Yeah, right. So if you have the metal section of your bagua and that room is there, and you want to have a photo of Pinhead, well, he does have the metal nails in his head. There's your metal.
It works.
But realistically, no, it doesn't work. So
why not? People like Hellraiser.
So and now to get away from the bedroom, mirrors, and a lot of people you have your dresser, and then you have your mirror on top. Realistically, the mirror should not reflect the bed. It's actually a very negative thing. It's
bringing people into your bed.
Yes, it's a funny saying. It brings people into your bed. So if you can, the mirror could be perpendicular. It could be at a different angle, but it shouldn't be facing your bed. Yeah, it should not face it. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it amplifies worries. It's supposedly, again, in Feng Shui, it brings bad dreams. It makes you restless. So a lot of people, actually I know people that I've told this to, and what they do, which I wouldn't go through the trouble of doing it every night, but they actually cover their mirror before they go to bed. Again, to each his own. If it works for you. For me, just move the mirror to a different wall. It should not ever reflect directly to the bed. It will screw things up. Now for the living room is a place where it should be welcoming when people come into your home, even if you don't have people coming in. We really don't have many guests. But I wonder why. Yeah, but you still want a good representation for the entrance of chi into your home. So this is odd, but ask yourself, do you have enough chairs in your living room? It's weird, but it's symbolic of abundance, of welcoming people. So if you're looking in your living room now and you have a metal folding chair and a table, and mind you, if you just moved in, that's awesome, but your living room should be welcoming, not to just the concept of to chi, to people, but to chi. It's like bringing in that positive energy. So look around your living room. Is it welcoming? Are there chairs? If a group of people, again, we have to think of an exact number. Just imagine a group of people coming in. Let's say 2, 3, 4. Are there enough places to sit? Is it welcoming? That actually works. I love sitting. I prefer sitting on the floor. So that's something that is important in the living room. Another thing is, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, go through your bedroom, your living room, your different rooms, and be the chi. I'm going to try to copyright that. I need to figure that out. That'll be mine. Be the chi. When you're standing in your living room, sit down and look around. Is your living room welcoming? Do you have broken knickknacks? Do you have stuff shoved in your entertainment center that you haven't looked at, moved, or have even cleaned in 30 years? Your subconscious mind is always searching. Your subconscious mind is always looking. We are too busy. We're flowing through. We're going through from room to room. We have stuff to do. We don't have time to take that into consideration. But again, the entrance of the chi does, and it stops and it finds blockages, and there won't be positive flow through your home, through your living room, because of this. So maybe it's time to get a box and put some of that stuff in and take it to Goodwill. Or rotate it. Actually rotate it. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe have like holiday stuff. Again, there are people that have holiday stuff still up. Take it down.
Like Christmas.
From like Christmas. Take it down. It's just, I think we have something.
What do we have for Christmas?
The ski, the fence.
My cousin made me that.
Yeah, she made me that. It's beautiful. Actually, I love that. See, so you can break rules, but it's, again, it has to work for you. It doesn't have to be Christmas. So again, go through your house, go through your bedroom, your living room, dining room, even hallways. How does your hallway feel? Does it feel cold? Is it there's no flow in it? When you walk through it, is there good lighting? You'd be surprised how many people don't even have good lighting, like, bulbs are out. It's just things that you haven't taken the time to fix. Fix it. Make a note of it. You don't have to do all this tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't have to be Feng Shui day. It's just as you walk through your home, take into consideration little things, broken lights, broken items, broken knickknacks. Repair them through the home, fix them. Display items of positive energy, things that have strong meaning to you, things that your children did that meant a lot to you, photos of your dog, Tador, things that just make you happy. And again, Tater. And again, it's just, there are things that you won't see after 2 or 3 days. That's the thing. But your subconscious mind will. And your subconscious mind is always following through on this stuff. So you want to continue to keep those things in your home. Things that are just beautiful to look at. Again, they have strong meaning to you. So like if you have an aunt or somebody who gifted you something a piece of artwork that you hate, and every time you look at it, you just remember how much you hate this aunt. Again, Goodwill will be very happy to have that item. And, somebody else will love it. Or put it somewhere else. But, just negative things out of the home, negative things out of the bedroom, out of the bathroom, out of the hallways, out of the kitchen, out of the dining room. Around the home, too. This also reflects outside. Dead things, broken things, piles of stagnant stuff that we plan on getting to one day. Get rid of it. Like, just start getting rid of it. It's just, this is this stuff that makes our life stale. And that's, again, I want to see all of you just have a life of abundance and happiness and positivity for you, for your family, for your friends that visit, especially for your pets. And that's really, really important. Fish tanks. Fish tanks are wonderful, again, flowing water. Even if they're not, so a fish tank with flowing water, obviously, that's perfect. There you go. That's your abundance. It's always, it's positive. Water is positive. But the problem with fish tanks is you got to keep them clean. And that's, again, that's us as humans. We life gets in the way, shit gets in the way, and we tend to forget. So I actually have a betta fish, which is in just a cool looking bowl a cool looking bowl that we found, and I put rocks in it, and there's plants in it, and I saw it at somebody's house and I loved it. But it filters itself. He feeds off of the plants feed off of his fertilizer. It's a great ecosystem, but I have to be aware of it constantly. Once a week I'll look at it and just make sure, and I test the water. Even though there's no filter, it's fresh water. I'm always making sure it's clean. Again, this stuff, all of these things that I talk about that are spiritual in a way, they do work. Reiki, I do Reiki. All of these things do work, but you have to put the effort towards it. Vision boards. In 2 weeks, I'll be at next Wednesday, same time, talking about sigils and vision boards. 2 things that I've been using since 2003, and they always work. My vision boards always work. Many of them I've actually completed all of it. A few of them I've completed like 3/4 of it. And then I decided halfway through the vision board that my life's goals have changed. And I've updated my vision boards. So, tanks, good. Tanks are great. They should just be cleaned. Because again, this is about positive energy, things that have strong meaning to you, and you're influencing your conscious and your subconscious mind. That's the goal that I keep trying to emphasize here. It's about fulfilling your subconscious mind as it's constantly looking through your home. Ugly things, dirty things, broken things, just they just stop. They stop flow. I'm going to continue to say that because it's so important. They bring joy to life. That's what I want for you. Just joy to your life. Now, two things that people usually ask me for when it comes to any type of spirituality is either health or wealth and abundance. And usually, sad to say, it's mostly wealth. So I'm going to be honest with you. The main tips for wealth are actually pretty cut and dry. You want to locate your wealth and water positions in your bagua. So when you get your bagua, and you place it over your home shape, and you figure out where's the entrance, and then you know where things go. The wealth and water positions should not, again, like the rest of your house, should be clutter free, because it'll keep wealth from coming in. Again, with the bills, the receipts, different types of junk, even for example in your wallet or purse, if you have receipts from like 1952, put them in a filing cabinet. Like, you're not allowing money to flow into your wallet or purse because it's filled with junk. Just I'm guilty of it. I'm very guilty of it. There was a time when I was animal control that I had 300 business cards in my wallet and no money. The money I kept in my pocket, the business cards in my wallet. Clean it out. Clean your wallet out. Throw that crap out. Leave it open. You want money to come into your wallet. You want that flow, constant flow. The abundance will be created, but you have to keep it clean. So again, piles of bills around the house, get rid of it. Front doors, bright and fresh, cleansing, let positive energy in. And this sounds odd too, but in the kitchen, if you have containers that, let's say for example, like you were a big rice eater and you haven't eaten rice in 4 years, and there's that container in your view that's been there like half empty. And this is weird because this is the whole, is it half empty or half full? But realistically, you want to keep things full. You want abundance. Again, everything in your home should be abundance. There shouldn't be bottles that are in view that have been empty for 10 years. It's draining to your subconscious mind. You want your subconscious mind to always see abundance and positive flow. So keep your containers, your sugar bowl. A lot of people have those. Like my mother always had those. The sugar, the flour, stuff like that. Keep them full. Now, mind you, if you can't see them inside, who cares? But you want to keep those things full. So again, now let's walk over to your kitchen. Sit in the center of your kitchen and look around. Is there dead space? Is there just dust hanging and cobwebs and just, there's that broken thing that I picked up recently and I feel bad and it's just sitting there. There's that artwork from Mabel that I hate. There's a sugar bowl which is like, the sugar bowl is this tall, but yet it's only filled this much. Get rid of it. Fill it. Fill it. Fill it with abundance. You want to look into your home and always see abundance. Opening a refrigerator. Now, mind you, I understand sometimes times are hard, but there are ways to make your refrigerator inside look abundant. If every time you open up your refrigerator and it is completely barren, and the only thing in there is, takeout from 3 weeks ago, and there's nothing else in there, that will bring you down. There should be, every time you open a refrigerator, think about it. When you open a refrigerator and it's filled with food, how do you feel? What do you take with you when you see that? So if you do open it and it's just empty and it's just old stuff, and that's very important. You should never keep old food that you're not going to eat. Something, some olives that you bought 16 years ago that are in the door. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You don't see it, your subconscious mind does. It's just continuing to bring it down. Clean out your refrigerator. That's really important. Your cabinets. If there's food, if there's stuff that you don't want, you know you're not going to eat, let's be honest. Get rid of it. Donate it. If it's still good, please donate it. There are places that will take it. I love donating, as you can see. It's important. So there are things that you may not want, but are very meaningful to someone else. So if you can, donate those items to other people. That's... I'm trying to think. I mean, hopefully... I'm sorry I talk a lot, but I get passionate when it comes to stuff like this, because I tend to not share things that I think are a crock of shit. And when I've done it, simple things with basically intention, and things have changed for me, doors have opened for me, relationships have started for me, friendships have started for me. It's larger than life. And life isn't perfect. I mean, it's not always. But, I mean, I also have moments that I just get, like, quiet or depressed and things bother me or whatever. And then, you know, I have my spiritual room. This is my spiritual room. This is where behind this, I have altars. I have a Buddhist altar. I have, you know, an altar to my family. It's just, I'm very into spirituality, and it's very self-empowering for me. Candles are very self-empowering for me. There are things you can do that are very self-empowering to you, especially when, you know, you're dealing with life's problems, life's negativity. The news. I'm not going to go on the whole political thing with the fake news and what's real and what's not, and, you know, and whose lives matter. I'm not going to get into that. I care for everyone, and I just want peace. And it sucks that there, you know, what's going on is going on. But if you know anything about astrology, which if you don't, or if you do, if you're interested, we also do astrology. Everything that's happening is actually, like, totally 100% in the stars. It's amazing. Mars is in Aries, which is war. That's what's happening now. That energy is being created. And what is happening? Stress. It's power. You know, just everybody's going at each other. Mars is war. Aries is the ram. Think about it. It's fascinating. Hopefully I didn't lose a lot of you there. The specialist with that is actually Melissa. She's... Every day she tells me something new and blows my mind with my chart. So, by the way, we also do chart readings. And she is... I'm not going to say we, she. She is very good at it. She's become very, very focused on the actual reading of layers, because it's not what you think. You really have to know your time of birth to know exactly how things will happen for you. If you can find that out, I can pretty much guarantee you we'll freak you out. We will freak you out because, again, you are an amazing person, and astrology, the horoscope, is a picture of the stars the moment you were born. Think of how special it is. You know, and it sucks because a lot of people use say astrology, and I'm sorry this is getting into astrology, but hey. Again, another passion. Astrology, people tend to think it's a crock and it doesn't make sense, which is fine. I'm not downing them. But I was introduced to it a few times over my life, and every time I got in a little bit more, but I tend to question things too much, and I lose interest again. And then about 2 years ago, I went to a fair, and I sat with somebody who... wasn't that she was even, like, phenomenal. It's just the way she explained things to me made sense. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, when you thought of dating and hooking up, everything was like, what's your sign? And you have to realize that's vague. You know, if you're an Aries, if you're a Sagittarius, we're not all the same. Cancers and Aquarius and Libras and Virgo, I mean, we're all, you know, we're very different. So saying, like, all Libras are the same or all Sagittarius the same is just ridiculous. Oh, you're so funny. So it's based on that picture of the stars above your head the moment you were born. And where exactly you were born. So you'd have to know. You know, there's ways of doing it, different ways of doing it. Melissa does her own way, which is crazy. Because she saw all this happening now with Black Lives Matter and what's happening with politics. It's like it is in the stars. And, you know, Mars right now being in Aries, and, you know, the energy is there. What's happening is happening. And it's actually not going to stop until January 6th. So we're going into next year, sorry. But again, it's the energy it's what you do with it. So you could still take the energy and do positive things and just show up and deal with it and just be appreciative of what you have every day, and everything will flow by, and just keep focusing on tomorrow. Don't be a Debbie Downer or and just give up. Please don't. Please don't. You're too precious. You're too beautiful. You're too handsome. You're too wonderful. You're too important to do that. This is my plea to you. This is why I do this. I believe in it, and for years, I've been doing this for years now. All these different things, and it's just something that I've kept to myself. And just recently, seeing and feeling the need to share this with other people, just to see people smile and know that there is hope if they understand the concept of intention and having intention in things and believing in things and in yourself. You can move mountains. But if you're going to have a shitty day and I don't understand how you would expect to have a positive day when you're having a shitty day, a shitty mood, surrounded by shitty people, a shitty job, it's like, and then you expect, like, why is everything happening to me? Well, at that point, you put on your adult pants and start, like, figuring out, what I need to do. So many people aren't happy with their jobs. It's understandable. You need to pay bills. I'm not questioning that. I'm not one to quit. My thing is, start looking. Just put the energy in there. Put the energy into the universe. This is what I want. That's what the vision board is. That's what sigils are. That is something that the following week. So not next week is my meditation in Milford, back finally for the first time. But after that, I'll be here again from my home, talking about sigils and meditation, vision boards, which are both forms of manifestation. So helping you manifest what you want. So as for Feng Shui, that's pretty much, again, I could go into it deeply, but hopefully you get the gist of what I said. Google a bagua. You'll have a bagua, and just basically find your front door, get a compass, use your phone, line it up with your phone, and just you'll figure things out like that. And then just base it. As you have questions, Google it, or please write to me. Hey Jimmy, so I'm in my bathroom is in the center of the house, which is actually earth. Earth is where, if you look at the bagua, the center is yellow. It's the center. So that is your foundation. That is the strongest part of your home. So if you, I know it sounds weird, but if you happen to have a chimney coming up from the basement in the center of your home that is totally crackling and falling and doesn't even work, that's not good. That's not good. That should be the center of your home. That's the strength. That's the core of your home. That's where your power is, surrounded by everything. So again, think of it logically when it comes to the elements. If you do, all of this will make sense right away. Elements, colors, walk through your home. No dead spaces, fill the voids, positive energy, positive flow. It'll bring the chi in. You will see abundance. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. You'll feel different. You'll wake up different. There will be rooms that you'll think that look like they got a fresh coat of paint. It's just, it works. So anyway, that was my spiel on Feng Shui. Again, questions, let me know. Next week again is sigil. Week after. Next week is my meditation in Milford, and the week after is sigils and vision boards. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. So I just want to say thank you for sharing your valuable time with me. I know there's 100 things you could be doing now, and not like looking at my face. So I appreciate that again. I hope I have sparked a thought, a passion to go and manifest the things you wish for. I'm not going to say the things you deserve. I personally don't like that word. It's more the things that you really want and that you're willing to fight for, because we all wish and want millions of things, but do we really want them? There are things that we say we do. Everybody wants to win the lottery, but a lot of us fear winning money, surprisingly. That's why many people lose everything after they've won the lottery, because they're not mentally prepared, spiritually prepared for that such a drastic change in their life. So, this is really about self-empowerment, going deep inside. of what you want in your life. So again, this, with Feng Shui, don't get up and just start going crazy in your home. Ask yourself, what rooms do you feel have good flow? Okay, good. What rooms are there that have good flow? Where do you feel dead space? When you walk through hallways, is it just dark and dim? Again, good chi flowing through your home. Picture it as just, wind and water just going through your home. Flow through your house. It's that it's logical. So, I want you to have all this, and all you have to do is follow a certain pattern with Feng Shui. For those that are just coming in, we're pretty much done. I'm sorry, but you could watch this again. I'm just going to play it again on Facebook. It'll be on my website, and it'll be on YouTube. I send you love. I send you peace to your family, to your friends, and especially to your pets if you got them. And may you be treated the way you treat others. Remember that. Always worship responsibly, and remember to check out skullandmoon.com, jimmygonzalez.org, and auraphotosunlimited.com, which if you go to the pages, you'll find out that's a brand new business that Melissa and I, oddly, it landed in our lap. So it is what it is, Aura Photos Unlimited. It's a business that's been going on now since like 2004. And it just was given to us. So now we're going to be doing that. To know more about that, auraphotosunlimited.com. And again, next week I will be at in Fairfield, in Milford at the Grove, next to Bohemian High on the 8th, 7:30 to 8:30. It's only $10. Everybody asks me why so little. Actually, it's just to pay for the room. So, and because of COVID, we are somewhat limited in how many people can come. Everybody is welcome. But to pay, you have to pay in advance at paypal.me/skullandmoon. If you go below, I'm going to promote the website. So watch the replay. Awesome. Hi, Pam. Hi, Chris. So, again, feel free to visit the sites, jimmygonzalez.org, auraphotosunlimited.com, and skullandmoon.com for any questions. I hope I inspired one of you to just want more in your life, more abundance, more love, better health, by simply doing things through Feng Shui in your home. You can do it. I believe in you. I love you very much. To those I know, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I love you all. Be safe, okay? Keep smiling. Don't let the world bring you down. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.